All right, welcome to a new episode of Talking Area 51. I am your host, 51 Spade. Hey, you like what I'm doing? Take your time out right now. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Support, man. I would sincerely appreciate that. All right, man. We got to talk about this. Something I really do not want to talk about, but I got to talk about is Snoop Dogg versus Dillinger. Damn, man, this one right here hurts, man, because I like both of them, and the messed up thing about this is that they're family. So this is like a real rough one. And don't get me wrong, I do know like when it's family and then you have business intertwined into the mix of that things can definitely go left. When you talk about money and you talk about especially the black community, and when we talk about money and how we view things as far as like, hey, this is my cousin, he should be looking out for me, he's not looking out for me, this is what I'm owed, you're and just different perspectives. And keep in mind that we're on the outside looking in, so we don't really know what's actual fact, what's actual fact, and what's true and what's not true. So we can only go by what each individual is actually saying. So we're gonna go over first what Daz is talking about, and then we're gonna cover it as far as that. So let's get into what Daz had to say.
Well, like I was saying, the paw is trademarked. Like I told Snoop, you got rejected and I got accepted. You know what I'm saying? So that was the moneymaker. The paw is like the Apple sign, like I said before. And like I said, they tried to go behind my back and trademark all my work and then flung my face like, yeah, nigga, we got it, nigga. That's all we wanted, nigga, because I'm finna sell everything for $1 billion to Universal. You know what I mean? But shh, I'll be selling my shit.
Now, what do you mean by selling? He said he was going to sell it, or what they're selling Death Row, the new Death Row that just came?
Snoop, everything Snoop's involved with, he gonna sell all that shit for $1 billion. You know, the motherfuckers cashing niggas out for their catalog. And then he sell that shit and he just start over and make new music. You know, it's easy. You sell what you got, you know what I'm saying? And you got all that money. I mean, I don't count niggas' pocket, but I got my own pocket. You know what I mean?
Now, how many albums is over there? Now, how many albums is over there at Death Row? Because you were saying that it was the Doggy Style, and it was two other ones you was talking about.
Yeah, you know, the shit that I got on the wall right here, you know what I'm saying? The Chronic is already going back to Dr. Dre. Tupac that took all his greatest hits album, all his albums, all his shit back over to Amaru. So what is left on Death Row? But I'm coming to get my shit, so what's gonna be left on Death Row? So he gotta make new catalog. And that's where all the new cats come in at, you know what I'm saying? And making new content. You know what I mean?
And just to add some context to this is like when you're dealing with the music industry, I do deal with the music industry. This isn't anything new. Like we just went over. I just did a show talking about Diddy, and then you're talking about the things that he's done. Obviously, before Snoop acquired Death Row, his beef was with Suge Knight. There's been Master P in the midst of No Limit versus Beats by the Pound. So this has always been a thing. This isn't anything new. I don't think anybody is not being touched in the music industry. They're gonna feel like, hey, I'm owed money. I'm owed certain things. But in this situation right here, Daz is saying like, hey, he went behind my back. I had the Paul trademarked. He tried to dangle it in front of me, and then he thought he had that done, and come to find out I actually got it done. And he was on like he been on a run for like a little minute as far as like starting to say fuck Death Row. I seen that on his Instagram. Then he held an interview where he was saying, I'm not on Death Row, corrupt is on Death Row. And he just wanted his publishing back and what he was owed, and said that Snoop said that he was going to give it to him. And then then he didn't. He went on I think a show. He did a show or something like that, and then take Daz and then informed him, because he wouldn't sign over his publishing, that, that's how he doing it. And from there, Daz like, I got kicked off Death Row, and I'm definitely not going back on Death Row. And ever since then, he been bombing on Instagram, saying what albums he got going on. He's not gonna go back there or anything of the sort. Now, I want to say this is like, my thing with the social media thing is I feel like, even though I get it, people are always looking what other people is doing. We use social media as a window to look at the world of entertainment and things that's going on. But and this is because I like both of them. I felt like this could have been handled in-house behind closed doors. I don't really know the reasoning behind why Daz is just going so public with it, because really at the end of the day, if you're suing somebody and you was going to take that action anyway and you're doing legal action, just do the legal action. I don't really understand the purpose of coming online. And it's like now with the celebrities, now it's like when they have a problem, they come online and they reveal what's actually going on. They get upset. They cut on their phone and they just start saying what's going on. Now, if you're on giving an interview and you're asked about that situation, hey, totally get it. You're being interviewed and you asked that. But he was actually doing this before the interviews actually even happened. And then it was like he just was going on, and Snoop was actually quiet. Well, now Snoop has actually responded, and this was Snoop's response.
I see you ain't got shit to do but hate on me, huh? In a minute, I'ma you up, cuz, on some real shit. Not physically, but business-wise. Cuz you broke as a right now, so I'ma you up in a minute, cuz. Leave me alone. Leave me the alone. Leave me alone, cuz. You up. Leave me alone.
And obviously you can see now you want to fuck me up business-wise and stuff like that. He's made another response. I'm not even going to get into that. But it's like, this is just real sad to see, man. It's like you can tell Snoop had been trying to hold off and not really respond. But like I said, with the internet, people are going to be tagging him. And it's just going to boil over. When you can actually handle this behind closed doors is a real sad thing to actually witness, man. And I can't say, like I said, I'm not there. I don't know what's actually going on. I know when money's involved, he's saying that, hey, there's going to be parts of the catalog that Snoop actually sells. And I've seen this happen before. Give a case in point. Look at Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney when Mike acquired the Beatles catalog, and then look at the fallout. And him and Paul McCartney was cool. And then once he acquired the Beatles catalog, and it was from a conversation that him and Mike had, but Paul McCartney couldn't buy it. Mike had the money to buy it. So in this scenario right there, he's saying, hey, you broke, and this is why you're going on this tangent. And he actually had the money to acquire Death Row. So now he's talking about unfair things, and he's coming back to get his publishing. And it's just like a big mess. And I really hate this. And a lot of people who are close to them are saying like, hey, I hate seeing this and it's real bad. He said Corrupt is still on Death Row and they still tour together. But I mean, I wish they would just work this out, man. This is really like a sad thing to see. And I just hope this thing goes smooth. He didn't say he was going to touch him physically. He said, fine, you know what I'm saying? He going to hold it financially. And I just hate this. I just really, really do hate this, man. So I hope they able to work this out and get back on the same accord. They are better together when they're making music. Daz is a talented producer. I mean, he produced, hits. I mean, next to Dr. Dre, he was the other producer over there holding Death Row down. Ambition of a Rider, Ain't No Fun if the homie can't have none. You had him, Warren G, and Dr. Dre. That's who was over there. So I just hate to see this going down. And on top of that, just how old they are. Like, they 50 years old and they beefing, and it's like over money. And this thing could just really be remedied like real quick. So I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all thoughts is about this, how y'all feeling. You know, like I said, I just really do not like this, but you know, this is just how I go, I guess. But yeah, man, this is 51 Spade. I'm signing out. I'm signing out of this thing for Talking Area 51. You new to the channel, again, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And until next time, man, peace.